a piece of paradise lying in the middle of a beautiful ocean, which would have been the case if I wasn't the one absolutely freakifying this place by adding my subscribers and turning my whole island into a battle royale. But of course, as I said, I won't be adding just any silly old me. I will be adding you guys, so you can watch your very own me run riot in this place. Of course, the way to determine if a me gets erased are by a set of rules which you can see now, and throughout this series I'll be adding things that will make this more interesting. So of course, make sure to stay tuned to find out who stays on this island or who gets erased, and like, comment, or even subscribe to get the latest updates about this lovely island, or to even get added. I'll be streaming the majority of this play session, so of course if you want to tune in there, I'll be streaming it on this very channel. But yeah, I am Ebonic, and I hope you enjoy me turning Tomodachi life into a battle royale. The first job of this playthrough would be to name this wonderful island, and already out of ideas, I decided to name it Gooba Island, which later in the video, I kinda realized, yeah, this is Gooba Island. Look at all these Goobas. Now normally in Tomodachi life, you're supposed to make you, but I wanted this island to be full of all of my subscribers, so I made someone who looks like me, but isn't particularly me. I named him GigaChad since... You know, if you didn't know that, actually, I did show 2 images. I then released GigaChad onto the island, becoming the first ever resident of Gooba Island. And right after that, the supermarket decides to open, so I obviously have to take a peek. Crimity Crunchity, Spuddy Crispies. Don't mind if I do. Sadly, because this island is probably British, I offered GigaChad a cup of tea, which he humbly accepted, which he really liked. And this made me think that GigaChad truly was my lookalike, because I bloody love tea. GigaChad then pulled a conquest on me, ranting about how he's so lonely. So since I was streaming, which is how I will be doing this series, so of course if you want to see these antics happen live, I will be streaming it on this very channel. But since I was streaming, I asked chat who wants to be added next. So let's see how that went. Who wants to be made next? Put your hand up. Okay, so I see no hands. Alright, I'm gonna just obliterate everyone now. And the crowd is, since my chat was uncooperative, to say the least, I decided to make one of my top commenters, who actually was in the chat at the time. Yeah, thanks for putting your hand up. Now, his profile picture is of Fortnite Spider-Man, so I tried to recreate a Spider-Man me. I mean, I think I did pretty well with this. I'm with our second islander, Glitchy Boy on the island. GigaChad introduces himself, and they become good friends instantaneously. How lovely. To greet Glitchy, I offered him a cup of tea, which he didn't like as much as GigaChad, but I'll allow it this time. Then GigaChad had a biblical level of generosity as he built a fountain and got people donating. Extorting my islanders for money as I make them fight till there's one left standing? How lovely. £23. Yeah! Now since we have 2 men on the island, I decided to add our 3rd islander for the episode, which even though it is a guy, I'm gonna make it a girl so that we can have an even amount of boys and girls on the island by the end of this. And the person slash fan that I will be making is Connor. Even though he's my friend in real life, I can still count him as a true soldier to the Ebonic cause. And there our 3rd islander arrives to the island. Holy moly. And of course we have to offer them a cup of tea. He likes it very much. That is good. Connor actually liked this cup of tea so much that the clothing shop spawned into existence. The way I'm going to give people clothing is literally just to solve problems. No, I'm not gonna do that actually. I changed my mind. I put that in the script, but no, I want to give people clothes if I want to give them clothes. But if they've been on good behavior, then I will be giving them something nice. And the talk of the town, Glitchy, wants to make friends with Connor instantly. They apparently hit off so well that they became best friends within seconds. Their charisma is crazy. GigaChad then was the first person to level up, so I gave him a cheeky little room because I hate these blank psych ward looking rooms. Then before I added some more people, I had to make sure to feed all of my islanders because no one is going hungry here. GigaChad absolutely hated all the food I gave him, but other than that, we made my 4th islander and 2nd girl on the island. The next person I made was Miss Circle. We do not talk about Miss Circle. And there is this piece of poo, which I instantly neglected, since Connor and GigaChad wanted to become friends, which actually went well. How lovely. So far, all of my islanders are getting along with each other, and peace is fluttering through the apartments. But I hope not for long. I want these me's to go ape on each other. You see that clip of Planet Viltrum where everyone's fighting? Sure? This island's gonna make that look like a birthday party. The hat shop then opened since I solved Glitchy's and Miss Circle's problems, but the hats weren't looking cheeky enough, so I left them for now. Miss Circle then wanted to throw hands. Mere mortal must be joking to pick a fight with me. After absolutely obliterating the competition, I was given the most egregious choices. So yeah, I must have just done it for the love of the game, which sounds like a bit of me. Finally then gave Miss Circle a cup of tea, which she didn't enjoy.
I can just close my eyes and remember old times.
After that conundrum, I decided to add the 5th me to the island, and this time I decided to add a good subscriber and moderator of the streams, who is called Lulu Morel. Now he kinda just changes his profile picture every 5 minutes, so I decided to make what I think he looked like IRL. Since it was fairly late, GigaChad decided to go to bed. I want you guys to remember this piece of information though, as this alibi makes a later interaction fairly interesting. Lulu instantly asked for some clothes, so I gave him this flight jacket that he said looked cool, and honestly, hey, he's flipping dripped out. And instead of tea, I firstly gave him some fish and chips, which he returned with a flight ticket. How flipping cheeky, what the hell? That is some good behavior. And of course, to reward this, I gave him a cup of tea, which he really appreciated. And then Miss Circle wanted a new hat. Bro, get out of here, man. Take this stupid ass leprechaun hat, man. And then she leveled up, so I gave her a new room. Wow, what a nice room. How cheeky. Glitchy then wanted to become friends with Lulu. Honestly, Glitchy has just been trying to be friends with everyone at this point, but holy Jesus, if that was me, I'd be turning around, getting on a boat, and never looking back. But somehow Glitchy and Lulu hit it off. But a couple minutes after, disaster struck. Glitchy, the talk of the town, is angry. But what could it possibly be?
A fight with you.
Oh, how's he had a fight? He's been asleep. Yeah, precisely. Somehow, despite GigaChad being asleep for quite a while, Glitchy has had a fight with him. I got them to make up, however, questions are now arising. What really happened here? Did somebody twist Glitchy's mind? Did GigaChad really get into a fight? Or is Glitchy doing something mischievous? We might have to set this one on hold, or maybe even think that Glitchy is doing some foul play here, which could get him eliminated, but we'll have to see about that. I'm gonna keep it on hold though, but I'm gonna keep a sneaky eye on Glitchy for now. From this as well, this gave me an idea to add another rule, which that if a me gets into a fight 3 times, then they get erased. So basically, if Glitchy has 2 more fights, then he's done. And the same with GigaChad, since he technically had a fight too. Yeah, it'll take points off for both, not just 1. And maybe later down the line, to eliminate people quicker, I'll change it down to 2 fights, and then 1. But we'll see how it goes for now. But after peace was temporarily restored on Gooba Island, I decided to make another woman, who's actually a guy, and has the same premise as Connor, since I'm making Lucas, who is also a friend of the Ebonic cause, so I count it. That looks just as accurate as in real life. As soon as I can get one, I will be giving this guy a banana costume. And there comes our 6th islander, Elmaster, who already has a problem, which is him being hungry. So I decided to feed him some pizza and some tea, which he greatly appreciated. Miss Circle then wanted some new clothes again, so I kitted her out with some greedy ass trench coat, which actually looked good. Unsung this, I made another me of another subscriber, and the subscriber I chose this time was Casual Cracker, who has actually been subscribed to the channel for a year and has commented on a bigger majority of the videos. Bro, how the flip do you make this? I guess it works. From Casual Cracker's birth, the Me News Tower was formed into existence, and guess who out of all people decided to present? And Casual Cracker is straight up already a news presenter. That's crazy. Thank you, Casual, for being on the island and instantly getting a job as a news reporter. His resume must be absolutely dashing. And on the news today, everyone is celebrating GigaChad's birthday, as he's apparently born today. Have a cup of tea, Casual. Damn, he absolutely loves it. You definitely will be a great addition to Gooba Island, Casual. Enjoy your stay. I am running out of tea though, so I will be getting some more. Look at this guy staring at the food, bro. You're not having any. Get away. No one was having problems for some reason until I saw that Lucas went to bed, so I decided to make my final me for today's episode. Until I saw that Lulu wanted to be friends with GigaChad, so he woke him up and oh my god, hell no. GigaChad and Lulu actually didn't become friends. That's pretty sad. I'm sorry, Lulu. I mean, it's okay. You know, maybe one day you'll find someone. Also, because of this, I then thought of a rule that at one point of the game, maybe an episode or 2 after I've added all of the me's, that we should delete all of the me's that are actually not in relationships. But I'll think about it first, since I don't know if it's a good idea to do or not. But we'll see. Connor then leveled up, so I gave him a brand spanking new interior. By the way, I will eventually give these people interiors, but I want them to have the regular ones first. Flipping Miss Circle wants to verse me again. Yo, bro. Nah, this guy's cheating, bro. How's this guy found 3 in a row like that? We did tie, but I still did get something, so you know what? That's good. Finally, after doing all that, I made the me. And the me I decided to make for our last me of today was safe. For some reason, I keep choosing the hardest profile pictures, but I think it actually turned out good. So welcome the final me of the episode, Safe. Oh my gosh, why do you walk so stupidly slow? Of course, Safe has to drink the mandatory tea, and I let him get settled in as I help Miss Circle with her cold. SMH my head, man. Let's have a look at what Lulu is dreaming about. Wow. After making my incredible art piece, I decided to solve Connor's problem, which was to give him some clothes. And we don't really have a good choice of clothing, so I gave him this rugby shirt, which he did not appreciate. Fair enough, it doesn't look that great. Casual was also daydreaming, so I wanted to have a look at what he was dreaming about. Everybody hiding from Glitchy? Is Casual trying to tell me something? Or warning me about the future of Glitchy's wrath? Or does this dream have no meaning whatsoever? I guess we'll never know. And after that, we let the islanders of Gooba Island have their peace and leave them to sleep for the night. With 8 subscribers so far on the island and more coming, anything could happen. Of course, if you guys want your Miis added or want to interact with the stream, I will be streaming all of this, so please feel free to like, sub, or even comment so you don't miss out on this adventure. I'm sure there's going to be a hella twists and hella turns appearing and many random events that will happen. Make sure to stay tuned, I'm sure you will not regret it. But other than that, I am Ebonic. I hope you've enjoyed and I thank you for watching the video.